Hello, welcome back. It's the Late Night Lounge here on Latte Firm. It's been a long time since we've done any sort of content, and I must apologize straight off the bat for that. I've had a crazy week at work, and I am so pleased to be back online with you. Such a wonderful community. My apologies for not going live over the last couple of days. We tried to schedule shows, transport logistics, working away from London, family commitments has just made my week very challenging. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Friday night. Hope you guys are well. Hope you've had a fantastic week. We got a great show tonight. We're going to talk about, of course, the Premier League now being back after the most boring international break of all time. We are looking forward to a weekend full of awesome fixtures. Arsenal, of course, away to Fulham in the 5:30 kickoff tomorrow. We talk about our Ministry of Defence, Ben White. He's been grabbing a lot of attention, missing in training again. Arsenal fans have lost their minds. Piero Hincapie is back in training. Want to talk about him. Ricky Calafiori, what is he doing? Where is he roaming? And the value that he's adding to this team. And then, of course, the missing piece. We are going to take control of this Premier League title race if we can just make one fine-tuning in the final third, and more details on that. And, of course, we'll look ahead to tomorrow's game. Fulham is no easy fixture for Arsenal away at Craven Cottage. 5:30 kickoff. The lights, the cameras, and we're wearing our blue kit. It's going to be sensational. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff. And I want to hear from all of you. How's your week been? What have you been up to? What are you snacking on? The snack check is, of course, back as well. So welcome to the show. Drop a like on the video. It's a massive help to the channel. Subscribe as well if you're new and you enjoy the content tonight. And just, buckle in. Let the good times roll. Let's go straight to the chat. Tamina was first in. Says, hi, FK. How are you doing today? I'm good. I'm really pleased that it's the weekend. Really pleased that the Barclays action is about to be upon us as well. Confident as always, Arsenal winning all 4 trophies. And do you like my new picture? I do. The crest is always a winner. A guy with a view. Good evening. Grateful the international break has ended with the bonus of no new injuries. And in fact, for Arsenal fans, players coming back into training. Noni Madueke, Piero Hincapie. So good. He says, why is YouTube showing our monikers? I don't even know what that means. Please, maybe one of you can entertain that. V Vlad AFC says, good evening all. Welcome to our channel members and, of course, our Patreon members. Thank you also for your kind support of this channel. It's fantastically appreciated. Refuse to work with betting companies, as you guys know. It's so lucrative, but I just don't want to do it. They do some awful things to some very vulnerable people, and it's great to see you guys committing and helping me out on this channel. What is that? Aphonex Rhubarb. Thanks, FK. Really looking forward to a bit of Latte Firm this evening. Thank you. It's good to be back. It feels so good. It feels live. I was low in energy today. It's been a really challenging week for me at work. I'm no busier than anybody else. Maybe I'm just a bit too slow, but I just needed to have a distraction, and this is my release, and it's great to be here. Jizzle McDizzle, welcome to the show. Evening all. Big test tomorrow away at Fulham. Not won there since a 3-0 in 22-23. Hope Iwobi and ESR are kept quiet. I'm hoping there's 1 or 2 other players that aren't going to make their starting 11, but more on that later. AFC 777, I feel like my long-lost son has returned home. Welcome back, FK. I've really missed you. Mate, that's so wholesome. Thank you so much. And I've really missed all of you guys. I know I've not had the pleasure of meeting so many of you. And one day that will be an ultimate dream. But to get messages like that really warmed my heart. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Karen Katz. Got you new usernames. This is cool. Good evening, she says. Hope everyone is well. Manny K. Evening Gunners as well. Arsenal Granny's in the house. Oh, that's what I see by Monica. Is that what it is? Twitter, is that some sort of handle or email address or something? Don't know. Trevor Bibbins, welcome. Good evening to all the Gunners in the house. Good evening. Asheen's here. And he's changed his avatar. Is that what you look like? Fantastic. Evening, says Lucio de Brazil. I'm not sure I like these monikers. It's very difficult to read out the names. Guna7331. Dave, welcome. Evening, Guna. Sounds like a transformer. J.K. Miyingo is in the house. Welcome to you. Good evening to 433. Time to put our foot down in the title race. Time to grab control. And time to take this club where it belongs, to the very top of the Premier League. Manny K says, don't lie, FK been on the naughty step for 2 weeks since you broke the vase. The vase set has not been replaced. The flowers just about work, and the vase is still very much broken. But more on that as well later. Thank you so much for the chat. Really love it. KSSMYW said, FK chat, what's happening? Sorry, FK. It wasn't boring. Saka with an incredible goal and an assist. He's lucky to make the team. Our DM scored the most number of goals than any other player. He's so defensive. Yeah, talking about Mikel Merino, of course. The enigma that is Mikel Merino. Welcome everyone. Thank you for all the lovely chat. Keep it active. Tonight we will come to you guys as much as we can. Let's bring in our panelists. He's in his new home, not quite a fresh trim, but it's Wayne Bellet. How are you, my man?
You can afford a fresh trim with the increase in rent these days.
True. How have you settled in?
Yeah, so far so good. It's been still a process of unpacking, not fully there yet. Still waiting for some furniture pieces, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from being here on a I was gonna say a Thursday night, but it's a Friday night, and thank goodness it is because yeah, it's been a long week.
It's been a long week. Do you know the absence of football just makes time just go so slowly?
And
Like,
you've got it all to look forward to again in 3 weeks' time or whatever it
yeah,
is.
don't, man. Come on, come on. Let Yembele ruin everyone's moods. You don't have to go down that road. Um, it's weird. The older I get and the more I think about football, I realize how much my life is based around fixtures and how I almost look ahead to weeks and set milestones in the week based on who Arsenal are playing. I know we all feel that, but it is very, very sad. Um, who is? I don't even know who this is. Is this? I want to say Donald. I reckon this is an interesting game. Can you recognize the profile
Recognize
photo?
the
It is
regular.
Donald, isn't it?
Recognize the regular.
Says the hand of Wayne is in the house. Indeed. Thank you for that. Ian Wallace, welcome to the show. He says, made it for the live. Good evening, all. And Salahuddin says, good evening, FK. I can see a bit of my reflection from your forehead. Thank you. I love you guys, honestly. And Manny asked about my father. My father is well. He is strong. He is looking good, taking it day by day, and he is at home and he is recovering. And I'm super, super happy that so many of you have got him in your blessings. Thank you for that. Wayne, welcome to the show. Let's bring in our other partner in crime. It is, of course, Yemerechi Yeza or Antoine Yemenyo. How are you, my man?
I'm all right, guys. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We all sound a bit flat tonight. Are you knackered as well?
Yeah, a little bit. It's been a long
All
week.
that podcasting and TNT sports analyst taking it out of you.
It's looking around for bad snacks. That's what's taking it out of them.
Mate, have you? This guy has turned into a podcasting machine. Two in
He's
a week,
always there, isn't he? It's
3 in a week. If guesting on tonight, I mean that's not mental. How are you getting the time? How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's okay. Do you know what it is? Is obviously we did one in the interim, and then I didn't really catch on that England was even playing on the day, so I was kind of like, "What? England play?" And then obviously we wanted to get a preview show out. I think because obviously celebrate the return of the Premier League, the return of real football, not this whatever this thing is in the interim. So yeah, glad that it's actual football is back. Although Chelsea playing Nottingham Forest tomorrow, which is jeez. Big Ange.
What's that got to do with anything?
Big Ange today. Did you not see his press conference? It was
a 5-minute monologue, I'm told. I don't quite have the patience to watch it, but I'm going.
No, you should. You should go. You should really go watch it.
Okay. Let's see. Ian says finally got tickets on the ballet. On the ballot, I assume. Anyone going else to the mate? I tell you what, Arsenal fans are cultured. It could be the ballet. You just never know. But he does ask if it's the Brighton Cup game. Of course, yeah. Lots of people having success in that.
good. Everyone's welcome at the Carabao.
Yeah, the Carabobbins. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's mad for it. Don't get Wayne's head any bigger. Won't fit on screen. KSMYW says Yem's a star in the making. FK, you watch. Hollywood is coming for your boy. He's gonna take over from Conan or whoever. I don't know. Yeah, not quite sure Conan. But certainly someone. We shall see. Right, chaps, let's rip the plaster off. Let's go early for snack check. Chat, let me know. What are you snacking on this gorgeous Friday night in October? I've got a feeling I'm going to win tonight's snack check. But in fact, let me go first.
Set the bar. Set the tempo.
I am setting the bar. So high you can't even see the bar, right? So the weather is changing. It's becoming a little cooler, a little milder. The dark nights, the dark mornings. I'm going to warm myself up with my brew that I have on my table and some M&S all butter shortbread toffee thins. Let me tell you, if you shortbreads are, tremendous shortbread biscuits, right? But these gentlemen are not only are they shortbreads, but they have little nuggets of toffee in them. They're like what are those biscuits with a little raisin stuck inside them? Oh, mate, they're so top tier. These are tremendous. And of course, Karen, yes, I'm having it with tea. but they are delicious. They're thin as well, so you can have maybe 2 or 3, and they are tremendous. So I think I've set the bar. I think I've won tonight. They're both nodding in agreement. Let's go to the chat and see what they're all saying. Snack check tonight for this is Paul James normally, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Says homemade
Says at
curry
the end
chicken.
right there, FK.
Oh yeah.
Not reading, really, is he?
Yeah, it's been a few days since we've done a show. I'm a little bit rusty. Snack chat tonight is homemade curry chicken with callaloo and roti. What's callaloo?
Oh, are you Paul? Are you Trinidadian by any chance, Paul James, or some sort of Caribbean?
He may well be,
because that is beautiful. That is a wonderful dish.
with roti. It's actually dinner, not a snack. Just call me Paul James. There you go. There you go. Paul James is here. Manny, snack check tonight is a cup of tea with a half a Danish pastry. Yeah, why not be sensible? Karen, yes, indeed. That looks tremendous, FK, says V Vlad. Anything that has butter in it generally is. It is indeed. Selbridge1 says, snack check, border biscuits, dark chocolate raspberry biscuits. Finally got them. What's the verdict? You can't just leave us hanging. You're going to tell me it's the most elite biscuit of all time. Dave says he's having a baklava, which is currently being delivered. Delivered? Baklava? How much did you order?
Yeah.
Isn't that normally that?
It's going to get well soggy. It's going to get well soggy.
1 centimeter by 1 centimeter little tile that you get after Turkish. I bet he's ordered like baklava for
a week's worth.
If he polished off a whole box of Jaffa cakes, that man is going to be eating a lot of baklava tonight.
Asheen's got some chili peanuts and a cherry kombucha. Oh, mate, there you go. Now you're talking. And Saladin says that is a hat trick snack check. Bramley apple turnover, AFC 777. Strawberry kefir, my boy, kefir FC. That's what I'm talking about. Kefir is just the most elite drink. Mango kefir, strawberry kefir, cherry kefir. Let's go. He's from Antigua. Wayne?
Okay, yeah.
My boy is from Antigua. We're getting some love from Kansas City. Tise4422, welcome to the show. And Manny says callaloo is a green. Oh, it's similar to spinach. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit like a vegetable.
Interesting. Karen's having pasta with spinach and ricotta tortelloni. Bellissimo. Riccardo Calafiori. Oh, right. What we got? What we got tonight, boys? One more. Just Walker's. Nah, listen. My brother-in-law was visiting for a couple of weeks, and he showed me a picture. He's like, "Where do I get these shortbread, bro?" And I was like, "Walker's." Nah, mate, that's a W.H. Smith job in an airport. You want to go M&S? You want to go M&S, sunshine? You want to get all butter shortbread in the reindeer tin? And then we saw some of these bad boys and slipped them in the basket. Oh, tremendous. Yembele, what you got for us tonight? Come on, ruin everyone's mood.
These are new, so I haven't even tried these. So these are like Aero Melts, double choc brownie flavor. So they're like the Aero Melts, but I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Tell you what. I mean, you've not messed it up so far. So come on, let's go. Open up the package.
Okay, you go. Let Wayne go, and then I'll have a try.
Wayne, what you got for us tonight?
I have got a slice. It was Mama Wayne's birthday cake.
Happy
birthday this week.
Happy birthday, Mama Wayne.
So, thank you. So spending time with her. So I've got a slice of. I don't know if you can see this. It's from Lola's.
Oh, very nice.
It's called a fresh berry cake.
And
this vanilla and blueberry. The fruits have already been eaten off of it by my daughter, but I've got my fork ready, and I don't want this to slip, so I'm going to hold it with a couple of fingers. But there,
that's good. Oh yeah, that's good.
So I got a slice of Mum's birthday cake from earlier. I was with her today. So,
and Yembele just hasn't opened his mouth since he put the Aero thing in his. Oh,
it's nice. I'm not sure it's elite. It's okay. It's not. Okay. It's not comparable to the original because that's just top tier.
Okay, and Wayne, you happy with that?
Oh, yem snack? No, this cake absolutely.
Ian says, "I got the M&S Buffalo Nuts. They are the best. Great snack. Mate, wait till you try the smoky chorizo flavored ones. They are suitable for vegetarians. They are unbelievable." Donald says, "M&S snack checks are a Yembele dream. They are." And happy birthday to Mama Wayne, indeed. Dave says, "Yes, it is a big box of baklava." How fast can you say that 100 times? Big spot. Big. I can't even say it once. Go on. Stop laughing at me. Say it. Say big box of baklava 5 times.
Big box of baklava.
5 times. Fast. Come on.
Big box of baklava. Big box of baklava.
Can't say it. Big blah, blah. You can't say it. Go on, Wayne. What are you laughing at? Come on. Big box of baklava.
Oh, I got cake in my throat. I'm all right.
Let's go. Come on.
That's it. Big box of baklava. Big box of baklava. I didn't even get it through the first one.
I challenge any of you. Big box of baklava. No. Enjoy it. He says it should last me until tomorrow, he says. Oh wow. Okay. Well, thank you for that. The snack shake is good and great. Enjoy it. Yembele's going hard now on the old arrows. Love to see it. Keep the chat active. Right. Let's talk about some football. For it has been a very, very boring week. The most boring break for me ever. I just can't bring myself to watching international football. I know England are on, and I did have it in the background. I was in the hotel room on I don't even know what day was it, Tuesday night in Manchester, just sort of watching it. And yeah, good game, but I just can't move. Can't get moved for it. But as you can see, the Arsenal boys have been in action. Mikel Merino, of course, water is wet. Inevitability, playing for Spain and scoring. Eberechiesa scoring as well for England. What a goal that was. Max Dowman in fine form for the youths. Jurien Timber with a couple of clean sheets and some minutes saved in the legs. William Saliba with a clean sheet himself. Bukayo Saka with the Man of the Match award. And of course, a goal for him. Gabby Martinelli playing through the middle, scoring a goal. And Leo Trossard again. You just can't beat these guys. Trossard and Merino. Doesn't matter what we say. They will score goals and they will play. And of course, a special week for Big Deckers captaining his country. Any highlights, lowlights for you guys? Let's start with Yem, because I think Wayne's probably still got chocolate cake in his mouth. Yem, what have you made of this sort of break? And Rancid Pumpkin saying, look, boring is good. It means no injuries, which is obviously a massive plus.
No, obviously, when you go on international duty, if you can continue your form, that's obviously a good thing. I mean, the big plus for me is actually Eze, because right now in this period, we need Eze at his best. We need him confident. We need him creative. With Ødegaard out, we're looking towards him to be that kind of fulcrum for creativity in all. With Zubamendi, obviously, at the deeper position. But it's a big period for Eze, because obviously he wants to play in that number 8/10, or he may play in the left wing long term, but he's in his favorite position, so it's a big week for him. But the rest of them, they're just quality. The big conundrums are obviously Mikel Merino and Trossard, because they don't do it in the same way when they start for Arsenal. When they come on, yeah, but when they start, no. So it's just very confusing. But the main thing is keep them free of injuries. That's the big plus I've taken from all of this. Get some rest for Declan and Bukayo from England, because they are, they're big players within that team. Tuchel will undoubtedly play them more. So to get them off early, always good. So main takeaway, good performances, injury free, job done.
I like it. Now, this sounds like there's some screaming in your household, Yembele. You might need to go and attend to that.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
Oh, we know. Gary says, starving for Arsenal, Cadbury's Buttons treat bag. That's an elite snack. And Vive Latte and Mikel Merino. Wow, indeed. Wayne, any takeaways for you from the international break, or are you just bored of it?
Absolutely bored of it, but I think my biggest takeaway was the fact that Arsenal got so sick of Brazil inviting Martinelli and Gabriel to fly halfway across the road. Across the world, we've said, actually, we'll host you ourselves so that they don't have to even leave home. That's all I can take from this international break, really, because Saka's goal was brilliant. I'll give him absolute credit for that. That was a fantastic goal, because just to cut in and lever that into the top corner the way he did was just typical Saka, really. It was a brilliant finish. But yeah, outside of that, I've told you before, I just don't care. I really don't care.
I think my highlight is actually Eze scoring, because there was a realization for me that night. So it was, like I say, I was in the hotel room doing some work. It was in the background. Commentator got excited, watched the goal back on replay, and it's a great goal. And it just dawned on me, Eberechiesa plays for Arsenal. Like, guys, 3 months ago, this dude was tearing it up for Palace, and he's a player that was linked with Arsenal, and could it happen? And we were all romanticizing about maybe it could happen if Bertie does a mad one over the summer. And then James and I were doing one of our daily grinds over the summer, and then the live bomber sort of hit, and everyone went absolutely nuts and wild. And I know he had the sort of grand reveal in the stadium, and he's played a couple of games and he scored a couple of goals, and I'm thinking, yeah, this guy is it. And then to see him score for England and celebrate, I like his new hairdo, he looks sharp. Like, mate, I can't wait for him to play tomorrow. And I think, to Yem's point, with Ødegaard unfortunately missing now a few weeks, this is a big moment for Eberechiesa. This is the moment he's been waiting for. The number 10 playing in that central role. He is going to be pulling the strings tomorrow, and I hope he flies. The low light for me, if you like. I'm a little bit nervous about how much game time Declan Rice is getting for both club and country. I'm not being critical of England. I can't knock a man's desire to want to play for his country. I can only imagine that must be a sensational feeling, particularly for a boy like Declan Rice, Londoner, born and bred. He's obviously been well, actually Irish, to be fair. But I see how much he enjoys playing for football generally, for both his club and country. So I can't knock that, but I'm a little bit nervous. And maybe Mikel Arteta is going to have to take the minutes out of his legs, because Tommy Tuchel certainly won't. And we've got Christian Norgard waiting in the wings. Lame Guna says, FK, talk about Gyökeres, who's had a poor showing for his national team during the break. We're going to talk about Victor Gyökeres just coming up shortly. Hold my latte. Vivlad AFC says Zubi as well. He's played a lot. Zubimendi, he's getting a lot of minutes, which is good. Zubi's been fantastic, to be fair. Absolutely fantastic. And Jizzle McDizzle says, FK, I thought the same as I watched him taking a corner for England. I cannot believe that Eza is ours. He is ours. And of course, he will shine. And hopefully he will shine from tomorrow, because, ladies and gents, boys and girls, the Barclays is back. And this is where we left off. So match week 7 saw Arsenal climb to the top of the Premier League. There we see on the left-hand side with Bukayo Saka's awesome celebratory face. Arsenal played 7, 16 points. Liverpool, of course, with 3 defeats on the bounce, 15 points, 1 point behind. Arnie Slot coming out today saying that we're 1 point behind a team that scored 60% of its goals from set pieces. Doesn't seem worried at all, does he? Spurs, the old enemy, are in 3rd with 14 points. Bournemouth off the south coast are absolutely flying in this season's Premier League. I'm not sure they've got the sustainability to kind of stay there in 4th, but who knows? Let's see. Hope so. Manchester City are climbing. I think they are the silent assassins. They're the ones to watch, because Erling Haaland is doing bits and Pep looks like he's got the bit between his teeth. Glasner's men, double trophy-winning men at Crystal Palace, are in 6th without Eza, which is really impressive. Chelsea, who have confirmed today that Cole Palmer is out for another 6 weeks, are in 6th place with 12 points. 7th place with 11 points. Everton are 8th, and then you've got Granit Xhaka's men holding up the top half of the Premier League, just above Manchester United, Newcastle, and the best of the rest. And Fulham, who come to town, Fulham, who host us tomorrow, are in 14th place. So those are the fixtures. Forest at home to Chelsea, as Yembele said, the 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. Brighton host Newcastle. That's quite a tasty game. Burnley against Leeds in what's sure to be a tasty relegation sort of clash. Palace play Bournemouth, 2 teams who find themselves high up the league. That's going to be an interesting game. City at home to Everton. You would expect City to take care of business there. Sunderland Wolves, another chance for Granit Xhaka and Sunderland to get a few more points on the board, because Wolves are absurdly terrible. Fulham at home to Arsenal. That is the late kickoff tomorrow night. And then Spurs Villa on Sunday. Liverpool versus Manchester United at Anfield. Manchester United, of course, the owner saying that they want to keep Ruben Amorim for another 3 years at least. And Ruben Amorim, he does raise his game in the biggest games. Chaps, what does it feel like to have the Premier League back? Wayne, let's go with you first. I mean, we just talked about how boring the break is, but are you looking forward to the weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why any football fan wouldn't be looking forward to this. And considering we are in a position where we're on the back of, I think, 7 straight games without defeat, played some good stuff before the previous international break. As you guys have both said, the international break has come back with no injuries. We've been playing some better football of late. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's obviously a stressful situation to think about the context of the Fulham fixture and recent history at Craven Cottage especially. And the fact that Marco Silva has kind of done a number over Arteta in recent years, especially at Craven Cottage. But no, there's absolutely no reason not to go there feeling confident, and there's absolutely no reason not to be excited about having that. I think the biggest concern really is us letting ourselves down and not playing up to our potential. But if we play like we did in that second half against Newcastle, if we play like we did against West Ham, we absolutely have everything to go there and give Fulham more than a game and come away with 3 points. And it's this stretch of fixtures really that hopefully we kind of stretch our legs a little bit and just get that run of points, keep going consistently, beating West Ham, hopefully beating Fulham, going on to the Sunderlands, the Burnleys, and just getting maximum points if and where possible. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Paul James says Liverpool's Lex Luthor should know, anyhow you put the ball in the goal, whether it's from open play or set pieces, is a goal. What difference does it make how you score? Well, the difference it makes is because it's Arsenal Football Club. We are the talking point of the week. Arsenal obviously sat at the top of the Premier League. Really impressive start for us. We're a few points up. We'll look at that in just a second. Any highlights from the Premier League season so far this way? I mean, surprised to see Spurs up in third, Bournemouth doing well, Palace, sort of maintaining their form from towards the back end of last season. Sunderland have had a cracking start to this season as well. And down the bottom half, I mean, Newcastle look like they're going to recover at some point. Valdemade is obviously settling in. Manchester United struggling. They might make a top half finish this season. Who knows? And down the bottom, like you said earlier, with Ange and Wolves are struggling. West Ham are there, but they've had a change in gaffer. What are your sort of high-level observations?
Still very early in the season. I mean, if you look at it, you look at Bournemouth and Palace up there in 4th and 6th and go, that's very impressive. Two very good managers, Glasner and Iraola, who have done very well, especially as you mentioned, Crystal Palace without Eze, Bournemouth without most of their defence. They sold their two top defenders, really. So very impressive. Sunderland as well. Got to give credit to Sunderland. Done very well so far to stay in 9th. Obviously, down the bottom, you look at it, the theatre that's going on at Nottingham Forest. If they sack Ange and bring in Sean Dyche, you just have to laugh really a little bit that, at the clown, clown ability that's going on with Marinakis, because it made no sense. Every observer could see that Ange was not going to work at a team that was playing a deep block. And then West Ham, unfortunately, look a bit of a lost club at the moment. And will Nuno be the man to take them there back to some form? Be interesting to see. He's got the record and he can do it. Players are there. It's just, I think, is it too little, too late? Maybe.
I mean, look, just while you were talking, I brought up the performance compared to corresponding fixtures from last season, something that we focused on last week. But sorry to kind of repeat it, but it's worth mentioning. Bournemouth, Sunderland, look at those points compared to fixtures in their last season. Sunderland, of course, in the Premier League. But Bournemouth last year, 9 points up in the same fixtures from last season. Can they maintain it? Spurs, impressive as well. 7 points up from the same fixtures last season. Manchester City also very much improved. 6 points better off. We are 5 points better off, and it's been commonly accepted that we've had one of the hardest starts to any domestic Premier League season. So that bodes really well for us. And if you go down towards the middle of the table, Liverpool only 1 point better off, despite spending almost 500 million euros. See what I'm doing there? Euros, 500 million pounds, 400 pounds. Chelsea 1 point worse from the same fixtures last year. And as you scroll down, Fulham, they've had a very mixed start to this season. We'll talk about Fulham shortly. Manchester United, 4 points worse off than last season, and last season was dire, let me tell you. Arteta's men are ahead of the curve, gents, and the graphic on the right-hand side, courtesy of Beecher Report. It's not something that I'm able to do on Photoshop. I have no Photoshop skills. But this chart on the left-hand side, courtesy of Optra Analyst, our partners here at Latte Firm, show which teams have over or underperformed. So the bigger the gap between the red and the blue. So actual points in red, we are slightly ahead of where we should be based on expected points, which are calculated from game outcome simulations based on individual shot XG. So we have 16 points. We should be on 14.5 based on that individual shot XG. Look at Manchester City, pretty much bang on. That's quite consistent. Manchester United, way underperforming. They should be on 12.5 points, but they are on 10. Now, this is really interesting. I read somewhere that Manchester United are top of the XG league domestically. I couldn't believe that, which is crazy. Newcastle also underperforming. And look at Liverpool. 15 points. So they are second, obviously, in the table, but they should be on 11.6. They should be nowhere near the top two. They can't keep getting away with this, he says. What do you make of this, Wayne?
I don't really know, to be fair, because it's hard for me to.
You don't care, do you? You just want to see football. You don't
Yeah,
care about analysis. You don't even care about the show. You don't care about the people. You just want your cake.
No,
And
I care about the people.
Your cake and you want to eat it. That's it.
I care about the people a lot. It's hard for me to get excited or get angry about expected stuff, because you want me to get mad about things you expect rather than what has actually happened, like, which is the fact that we've obviously got 16 points. But I think that obviously the fact that that difference of 1.5 points or whatever it is not that massive, I don't think is a huge concern. I remember obviously all Arsenal fans were really concerned by the numbers under Uncle Unai, because those were very badly skewed. And I think from our perspective, it just kind of shows that we're a good team. Even if we were on pace of the 14.5, we would still be joint top or just under Liverpool. So I think we've started the season pretty well. When, like you said, we've had some pretty rough fixtures, and the big one for me really is that previous sorry, excuse me, is that previous graphic of the corresponding fixtures, because this stretch is really where we dropped quite a lot of points. Like Newcastle, it started with where obviously we went there last year and we lost, so there was a big turnaround this season. West Ham at home, we obviously lost. That's a big turnaround. And Fulham last year we drew. So from the fixtures of Newcastle, West Ham, and Fulham, we could be coming away with maximum points this season, which is massive. And I think I've said time and time again on this show, the big 6 games against the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the Man United, yeah, it will absolutely be brilliant to win them all. I want to win every game as an Arsenal fan. I hope we stroll this league. But I'd swap a couple of those results for the consistency against the Evertons, the Fulhams, the Brightons, the Brentford, because the reality is that's where we're going to win the league. And if we can go to Fulham and get another sort of boring, comfortable win, I'll be more than happy with that going into the next couple of games against Burnley and Sunderland.
Fulham's been a tough place to go. More on that later. Indy Barge says, late to the late night lounge, but hello to the firm. My friend, welcome. I hope you've had a good week. Hope you're in good health. Enjoy the show. You can obviously watch the first half hour back in demand. And, spoiler alert, Yembele did not ruin everyone's mood with his snack check tonight. Breaking news. Thomason says, no excuses for Arteta. Deliver or see you later, like Henri says. No more excuses. And Paul says, I hope Liverpool have used up all their luck. I actually think Manchester City is going to be the big threat because of Erling Haaland. Yeah, he is doing bits, let's say. Let's talk about Ministry of Defence. First thing I want to talk about before we look at the sort of big chances sort of that we face this season. Ben White, Yembele, missing from training. And I think it's fair to say that the timeline went a little bit Scooby. Sort of, all sorts of speculation, all sorts of theories. And to my surprise, and I think I said this to you guys last week, or maybe it was a show that I did over the weekend, Ben White is 28 years old. He had his birthday and I saw Arsenal Football Club wishing him well. And I was like, oh, I wonder how old he is. 28. When did that happen? What are your thoughts on Ben? Are we potentially talking about a player who we have to maybe start thinking about life beyond, injuries, availability, age profile? I don't know, Yem. Talk to me.
There is a concern here because obviously, unfortunately, he hasn't been as fit as we would like him. And that's partly because of us. During when Timber got hit with the ACL, we overplayed an already unfit Ben White, and he was a warrior. We already knew he plays through the pain barrier quite a lot. And unfortunately, we asked him to do too much, because obviously there was no one else. Tomiyasu was injured as well, so he's probably paying the price for it right now. In terms of, he's just not fit. Whenever he's come up, whenever we've seen him in the one or two bursts, he really has not looked the same as what he did. We know when there's a fit Ben White, he's galloping up and down the field, and he's usually much better than what he is. It's I know Timber is obviously providing some stiff competition, is probably the best right back in the league. But Ben White on form is a very, very good player, and I don't think he's close to anywhere near what he would want to be. And the concern here is that it keeps happening. He hasn't had a period where he's had like 5 or 6 games where he's fit and available. Those are two different things. Playing is one thing, but being fit and available, that's a massive bonus. And, even tomorrow's game, you may have expected Ben White to start if fit and available, because we've got Atletico Madrid in the midweek. There is a point coming, as you said, he's 28. Do we start to think about cashing in? Because again, there's a couple of things. His injuries, his value is diminishing, obviously. Where does Berta draw the line? And is he ruthless to say, look, thank you very much, Ben, for your service, but it's time to move on, get some money for him, and 25, 30 million. He's English, still a very good player, but if we had Tomiyasu and we had his injury concerns and we were concerned, we would have said sell him. I think the same things are creeping in with Ben White. But the only reason we're all so reticent is because we like Ben White, we like his character, we like what he's done for the club. But if you look at it in the cold light of day, you're going to have to say that the injuries, the age, potential for some return means that you might have to consider Ben White leaving in the summer, most likely.
Chisel McDizzle says, unfortunately, White has been run into the ground. And Wayne, I'm going to go first on this. And it kind of tallies with what Indy's saying. We need to support Ben White now. He sacrificed so much for us, deserves the support. For me, I love Ben White. I'm happy to, see him see out his contract, give him a new contract. Don't care. I love him. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's been a great servant to the club. I don't know what these minor issues are. I think a club like Arsenal, as we have done in the past, we've stuck with so many inferior players. He is one of our better defenders. We know what he's capable of. Let's not do that where we sort of revise our impression of him just because Jurrien Timber's being absolutely outstanding. Ben White is a tremendous player, can play right back, right centre back. I love the fact that he's been with us now. He's probably one of our more experienced players in the squad. Let him come back. Let him see out these niggles. Let him go out training and do whatever he's got to do and come back into the team. And Jurrien Timber is phenomenal, no doubt about it. I think they're two quite different fullbacks. I'd like to see Ben White give Jurrien Timber a bit of a run for his money. And I think White definitely has a role to play in this squad. What do you think, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you. I don't quite understand why there's any sort of other conversation about sort of the future and stuff like that when it's still only 7 league games into the season. I think the biggest issue for Ben White and with Ben White is the fact that the reality is he's probably not going to get. He's a bit like Kivior in the sense where he probably needs 4 or 5 games in a row so that he can start looking his best again. But the reality is, and it's not only an issue for Ben White, with the size of our squad and the quality of the players we've got now, most players probably are not going to get that situation. And he's probably not going to play 4 or 5 games in a row with his injury history and with the fact that Jurrien Timber is just so good. So, yeah, I think that's the only thing really holding him back. But given what he's done for us over the past 3-4 years, let him take as much time as he needs because he was playing on one hamstring for a good half a season when Tomiyasu was nowhere to be seen, when Saliba obviously missed a bunch of time, when other players were just kind of dropping like flies. He had no opportunity to take a breather. So take as much of a breather as you want now, because there will be a time in this season where he'll step in and he'll do what he does. And I just think that we need to probably stop comparing him to Timber because, like you said, they are two very, very different players. One is very good going forward. One is excellent defensively. And I think that just looking for him to do everything that Timber does, you're never going to see Ben White do that. So you're always going to be looking to downgrade him in your mind if that's the way. But yeah, I just think that let him rest up, whether it's weeks, months, a game here or there. I'm sure he's got more than enough to contribute this season.
Indeed. Lots of nice messages in the chat about young Benjamin. Vlad AFC says it's a bit of a shame. He was looking really good in pre-season. He was looking good in pre-season. Hopefully Ben White finds his form and fitness and he will come back. The image on the right-hand side also, courtesy of Optra Analyst, the brilliant guys there. This is a chart that is basically showing all the Premier League teams this season, big chances conceded against. Look at that, Nottingham Forest. Angie's Nottingham Forest, Yembele, top of the tree, faced 23 big chances, conceded 8 of those. West Ham have faced 20, conceded 10. Burnley conceded 20, faced 20, conceded 8. Manchester United have faced 19 and conceded 9. Scroll down just a couple more. Liverpool have faced 16 big chances, conceding 6. Surely that is not sustainable, Yembele.
No, it isn't. I mean, again, we've said it for a while with Liverpool. There's deep concerns with, I think everyone said it. I think Jamie Carragher even noticed it at the start of the season. He wasn't particularly happy with Liverpool and the chances they're conceding. And there's only so much that Alisson, Konate, who's off form, and Virgil van Dijk can hold out. Again, luck has been with them for a long time. How much luck do you have? And obviously that luck has started to run out in the last few games. Yeah, it's not sustainable. That team is, even last year, you were kind of looking at them going, how do they keep doing it? Because the chances they concede, the goals scored against them, it just didn't seem sustainable. And I don't know, this season, maybe the new signings and the lack of cohesion at the moment is amplifying the issues. Konate clearly is not on form. Are they going to bring Joe Gomez in, who again is injury prone? The not signing Mark Gahey looks to be an issue. They've got no right back either. First choice right back. They're using Dominic Szoboszlai there, who obviously is a very good player, but is wasted there. Is Conor Bradley that level defensively, maybe, but on the going forward, maybe not. So certainly, I think Liverpool have concerns, and I think obviously they've decided to go the other way, where they're loading their attack up rather than what we've done, which is look at the whole squad and try to have a complete squad that's ready for any injuries. Liverpool have decided to go, let's get all the attack. We'll outscore you. Is that going to work? It's only the start of the season, so maybe it will. But at the moment, I think it looks like we look a much more stable outfit than Liverpool. I think that they're under, they've got a lot of disruption, injuries, whatever you call it, and yeah, I think just their luck is starting to run out a little bit in terms of the chances that they've had created against them are being scored now, which is not something that happened a while back. So yeah, not sustainable, but obviously very early in the season. I think it's still very early for those teams.
Hopefully not sustainable at all. Hope it continues. Hope Kanat is out for a long time. Hope Frimpong doesn't really settle. Hope Kirkes gets bullied every week. I just want that to continue. We've talked about Ben White, but let's turn it into a positive. Piero Hincapie is back in training, Wayne. Obviously signed for Arsenal. Unfortunately got injured. Looked promising, looked exciting. It's a weird one, this, because Miles Lewis-Skelly obviously is a very capable left back. Ricardo Calafiori, who we'll talk about next, is just pulling up trees and is available and fit. This feels like a very sort of icing on the cake, luxury signing that we've got. Yet he's probably the most expensive of all of our defenders.
Yeah, probably when you think about it. Yeah.
No, Ben White isn't he? 50 million?
No.
Ben White was like 45 million quid. This guy was like 55 million.
No, 45 if we complete the deal.
Plus 5, right? So, okay, all right.
He's around. Right. He's up there. Right. He's up there.
Tomato, potato, potato, right? I mean, Hincapie, Wayne. What sort of what are you looking forward to seeing from him? What sort of role do you think he's going to play this season? Chat, let me know.
Well, I'm just looking forward to seeing him, if I'm honest with you. I think that needs to be a start. I think in terms of his role, he's got a lot to offer at left back, especially if we continue looking for an attack-minded overlapping one. But he's so aggressive defensively as well. And I think the thing that's probably making his start for Hincapie a bit easier is the fact that Mosquera's slotted in and made football look easy. For someone that's so young and new to the Premier League, he's able to come in and play for Gabriel, for Saliba. I think
what a squad, man!
It's just so
doing
good.
It. Look at us! Look at us!
But no, I think that this allows us to rotate and play based on our position. Obviously, we'll always have our blueprint, we'll always have our game plan. But if you notice a team that are a little bit weaker down that sort of right hand side of their defense, and you want an overlapping fullback, if you've got Eze or Martinelli starting, for example, you might throw Hincapie in at left back. You might see Miles Lewis-Skelly get more midfield minutes, which Arsenal fans everywhere have been asking for ever since he came into the squad, really. So just having that amount of depth and quality is never going to be a bad thing. And we've seen this season especially is a complete different change from Arteta in the way that he's been using the squad. Even though Calafiori has been playing well and is actually fit right now, you wouldn't bank on him staying fit for the full season. And I don't think Arteta would bank on Calafiori playing 90 minutes 3 times a week. So Hincapie will play, Miles Lewis-Skelly will play, and it's just fantastic to have so many options rather than when you just think back 12 months ago, Calafiori's out, Miles Lewis-Skelly has to play 50 games now from October all the way to April, because we have no other choice. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing him get on the pitch. I don't expect he will start anytime soon. I think we might see him start maybe in the Carabao Cup at the end of the month against Brighton at home.
Why don't you think he will start anytime soon? I mean, if he's arguably, I think he's got our most expensive defender, why would you wait until the Carabao bins?
Because he's been injured, isn't he? He needs to take time to get used to the squad. He needs to get time to get used to the league. He'll probably come on for 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. half an hour if we're sort of comfortable in a Champions League game or something like that. But he's been injured. It's going to take him time to get match ready, match fit. It would have. I don't normally want Arsenal players to go on international duty because I don't want them to get injured. But what I was hoping for was for him to go on international duty because that would have been a perfect way for him to get some match sharpness and get some minutes in his legs. But yeah, now he's back in training. I don't expect it. Yeah, like I said, I don't expect him to start this weekend. I don't expect him to start in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid either. But he will get his minutes here and there and ease him back into the team.
Yeah, there's a few people in the chat that are hopeful of him making some game time either tomorrow or certainly against Atletico Madrid on Tuesday, which is a Champions League game at the Emirates. Man, the games are coming thick and fast. What a time. What a time. And Gary says rotation equals unpredictability. And now when you've got a squad that is so stacked, he puts the quad in squad. I like that, Funny Gunner. When the squad is so stacked, it's so difficult for opposition managers. I'm really intrigued to see what this guy brings. You know, the overlapper, the speed, the end product in the final third. Can't wait to see it. But Calafiori's been fantastic. He's been phenomenal. He's really setting the standard. And of course, Miles Lewis-Skelly just waiting in the wings, who is phenomenal. Paul says Hincapie is frighteningly good, but he is injury prone. If he can stay fit, he's got the potential to be our best defender. He's a fun guy to watch. Interesting. Ragamuffin, welcome to the show. Says Lewis-Skelly looks off the pace this season. What's going on there? I think it's early. Not sure. I don't want to sort of dismiss him and write him off. I think it's early days. Looked okay for England. DJ D10 says, good evening. Sorry to be late. Do not apologize, my good friend. I hope you've had a good week. Hope your family are well. Hope your health is good and enjoy what is coming up. And what is coming up next is Ricky Calafiori. I mean, look, lads, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what this chart means. It looks pretty. I don't even know where I got the image from, but look at Calafiori, the little dot in that top right-hand corner. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, and I can see just about what it says, percentage availability in build-up pocket, right, to the right-hand side, so 18%. You can check out the bar there. Passes received in the build-up pocket, going along the vertical axes, and you can see Calafiori scores very highly there as well. So top right, and look at how far he is from literally anybody else on this planet. Yambele, what are we looking at here in Ricky Calafiori?
You got me, honestly.
Well, look, I guess what it shows is that he is available in the build-up pocket, obviously, and he's receiving lots and lots and lots of passes, more than most defenders in the build-up pocket.
In the pocket.
But look, what we are seeing from this guy is the amount of grass that he covers. I've said it to you before, like coming home from games, mate. Ricardo Calafiori is playing left wing. He's playing left 10. He's playing up front. He's on the edge of the box. He's in midfield. He's tackling, by the corner flag. I love what I'm seeing. I can't quite describe it, but I think he's been absolutely stellar this season. In fact, I would say, he is probably shout for player of the season so far.
Yeah, probably he's in with a shout. I think he's being injury-free. We've started to see the best of Ricardo Calafiori. I think we all knew he was one of these kind of unicorn players. I call it that because he's got these qualities that not many players have, that solidity, which he showed against Mo Salah, plus the unpredictability, which he's shown in the majority of the games. He's got that factor. He played as a midfielder, as a youngster at Roma, and it's showing. He's got such control of the ball. He's confident when he brings the ball out. He's not worried about it. He knows how to pass the ball. Look at the ball he provided to Eze for that goal for Gyökeres. Right over the top. He's got it all in his locker. He's pretty much got everything in terms of what Arteta wants. He can overlap, he can underlap. That's what I'm guessing this thing is. In the build-up pocket means that he's being passed to start the build-up quite frequently. And we already knew that. He's done what Zinchenko used to do, which is to come in, invert into the midfield. But he's also going right midfield, right wing. We know he can play up front as well. He's got a decent shot on him, the boy. So,
well, I think he's got most shots on goal for Arsenal this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised.
I mean, what's that about?
Look, he's got probably a lot of stats, most beautiful hair, all of this kind of stuff. It's all, it looks so easy for him when he plays. The only concern we all know is his injury record, because every time he stretches for the ball, you're like, oh, geez, please don't. His injury record still is not the best, but So far, so good. Again, it's about making sure he's not loaded. I do notice that Arteta brings him off around the 60-minute mark because he doesn't want to load him too much. And it's good that this is probably why Hincapie is there, to your point previously, is that Calafiori probably is only going to get 60 minutes a game. And then who do you go to? Do you go to, to MLS, or do you go to Hincapie? Depending on the situation, you go to that. But yeah, absolutely. What a player he is. If he can stay fit, very much could be in the shout for player of the season, in the team of the year. All of those kind of stuff. That was cheeky. The towel thing was so cheeky. I loved it. He's got a bit of cheekiness about him, which I love. He looked at the ref when he went, "What? I didn't know anything about it." When he knew. Love it.
Yeah,
Love
I've
it.
seen his social posts as well after the international. Came away with a win, a cap, and a towel. Wayne, I think I've set a little theme running here in the chat. People talking about player of the season so far. I've got to stress. Dan says between Timber, Zubi, Calafiori, he says he thinks player of the season is Timber. Even last year, says Kenny. Welcome to the show. Is it fair for me to say that as DJ D10 says plenty of shouts? Timber, Zubi, Rice, Erdegaard when fit. I mean, Calafiori's been magnificent, Wayne. Much better than I ever thought he would be this season.
Yeah, he has been. And just how do you prepare for that as an opposition manager? How do you look if you obviously, as an opposition manager, you'd have your analysts, you'd have your scouts, you'd have access to these stats. How do you prepare for him? And I think that's going to be the big step for him and for us, because it was a bit like when Zinchenko first came in. How did you prepare for Zinchenko? You couldn't for that first half of the season, but then we kind of got found out. Calafiori doesn't really have that about him, because sometimes I don't even think Calafiori knows what he's going to do. Like, if we are confused by what he's doing, I think a lot of the time he is just willing to kind of go everywhere and do everything on the football pitch, and he's got that quality to do so. But I think in terms of our player of the season, he's in the conversation. I don't think he's been better than Timber, who for me right now would be the number one. I think that Zubimendi would be in that conversation. Calafiori would be in that conversation. And then another outside bet or an outside shout for me, and I know it's a bit of a strange one considering he's not really done much or been bothered at all really this season, is David Raya. Because the times where he has been bothered, he's saved us. And he's made the one fantastic save from the one fantastic effort, which has kept us in the lead, which has got us the clean sheet, and we've been brilliant. And then he's just been commanding sort of on crosses in the box, setting up those quick attacks as well. So yeah, Calafiori's in that conversation, and it's just mental to me that we're having conversations about our defense potentially, and I don't think it's going to happen, but potentially looking at that Chelsea record of those 15 goals. I think that record is unbeatable, but the fact that we're able to even just say we're good enough to challenge it potentially is just an amazing thing for our defenders.
It is an amazing thing. Like I said at the very start of this feature, I don't know what I'm seeing with Ricardo Calafiori. I'm all for it. I'm in love with it. I don't know where it's going to end, but I want this fairy tale ending. And Donald just simply says, I'd love to eat a cornetto with Calafiori. I mean, what a beautiful way to kind of finish it. Let's move away from our defensive sort of collection, Ministry of Defense, as I've trademarked it now. Let's talk about our attacking in front of goal, because, look, gents, if we improve this, I think we take control of the Premier League, and I think it is ours to lose. This is a chart courtesy of, again, the brilliant Optra analyst who ask, who is getting big chances in front of goal? Look at Erling Haaland, top of the class to the very right-hand side, 2.5 big chances per 90, not even shots or chances, big chances per 90. Alexander Isak, who hasn't scored in the Premier League yet, I don't think, this season, but he's getting per 90. Very tiny sample size, of course, but Liverpool are going to create chances. Mateta, Calvert-Lewin, Welbs, Voltemade, who's had a good start to his time, Antoine Semenyo, the man that we all want, Anthony Gordon, and Šeško, Benjamin Šeško, of course, at United. Victor Gyökeres, nowhere to be seen, chaps. Is that why Yembele? He's just not notching up the goals.
No, I think this is implying that the striker is doing this all themselves. I don't think so. I think if you take Erling Haaland, Man City are designed to play for Erling Haaland. Everything is he's the focal point. It's again, the only one I would say that is truly doing it on his own is Antoine Semenyo, because some of the goals I've seen from him are just ridiculous. With Victor Gyökeres, you're asking him to play in a team that is not used to having this type of focal point. They had a very different one in Kai Havertz, who's been used to dropping deep. You now have a focal point who occupies defenders and is asking to play at the tip, in the penalty box. We're not very good at that. I'll be very honest. Even our build-up play is particularly bad when it comes to trying to find the striker in the box. I agree. There's still some areas of Gyökeres' play that need to be tweaked, but we're not creating enough chances for him. It's very clear we don't do enough for him, because when we do, he's in the box and he's getting in the right positions. I can't fathom why such a talented group have not been able to fashion enough chances for him. Because if they fashion the chances, and if he doesn't score those, then I'm going to say absolutely he's not performing. But we see him getting like one chance a game, and he's swiping at it. Most chances, even most strikers, even Erling Haaland needs 2 to 3 before getting his goals. The team need to get used to Victor Gyökeres. How long before it becomes a concern? I think this period of games, as Wayne and many other podcasters have put it, is critical, because this is the period we bought him for, not for the big games. We bought him for this period where you've got lesser teams who he didn't do well against. We need him to start scoring the goals. We need to fashion those chances for him. We cannot have this play where we're doing it in front of the defense. That doesn't help him. He plays beyond the defense. We need balls in behind. We need to find him in the box to let him have those shots. I don't think he's had a shot in earnest for a while now. And that's deeply concerning, because you're not finding him in the box. Is it his positioning? I don't think so. I think he's still taking up good positions. But I'm going to flip it slightly and say that he still is doing a very good job. He's occupying defenders. Arteta's already said he's doing things for this squad that haven't been done before. So is he putting the effort in? Absolutely. Do we need him to put the effort in? Not really. We need him to score goals, but we have to provide the service for him, definitely.
Asheen says Gyok has 0.6 XG per 90, which is good in brackets just to help me. Obviously, I'm not the tactico. Kelly says, FK, if I'm one of the midfielders, I'm not sure I can trust Gyökeres. His touches are remotely bad. I mean, look, you know that the Premier League is relentless. Defenders are going to be digging at your heels constantly. They're going to not give you time to breathe. He knows that. He's played in England, of course, played in the Championship, ripped that up for Coventry prior to his move to Portugal. I love what I see from Victor Gyökeres. I think the team have to do more to create chances. I mean, look, if you think about this chart, look at where Wayne's face is on screen and sort of go further south, go further west, and Gyökeres is probably not even there. So the team have to do more. And we talked last Friday, actually, didn't we, about Erling Haaland and how he goes missing for spells in seasons with injury. I think it was something like 10, 11 games last year and 12, 14 games a year before. He will have that spell again where he doesn't play in the team. And then what do City do? I'm sure they've got very capable replacements. But Haaland being that far ahead per game, the form that he's in, it is looking ominous. Wayne, any closing thoughts on the attack? Because I think if we do sort this, if Zubimendi and Odegaard and Eze and our wide players and Madueke is now back, like, we could really, particularly with the fixtures that we've got coming up in the run up to Christmas, take control.
Yeah, we absolutely can. But I think the comment that you flashed up a little while ago actually put it best. I know that we're talking about Gyökeres, but where's any Arsenal player on that list? That is my concern. Where are the big chances for Saka? Where are the big chances for Eze? Where are the big chances for Odegaard when he was fit? Where are the big chances for Trossard, who I think has played 180 minutes? Martinelli's played 180 minutes. Calafiori plays striker a lot of the time. Where's he on the big chances? And I know that we've got a hell of a lot of players that can contribute into the attack, and that's great. They're probably sharing the load a lot more than some of the other teams, but I think it's a bigger thing than just Gyökeres. And yes, the big concern for me is that he's now gone 10 games club and country without a goal in all competitions. That's a worry. That's a concern. And I think,
do you know what would be
for
more
any
concerning?
striker, go on.
If we were 7th.
Yeah, no, of course.
You can see what he's doing in the team.
Yeah. I'm not taking that away from him whatsoever, but the reality is we've signed him to score goals. We've not signed him to do what Kai Havertz has done. We've signed him to score goals. And 10, I don't, even if it's not a big deal for us, some of the chances that he has had, sort of, particularly in the Champions League game, he's playing like he knows that he's on a bit of a drought. Like he's trying a little bit too hard at times to score, which for me, I love that. I want my striker to have that mentality. I want him to only score goals and only want to score goals. But try not to just allow that to consume you, as we kind of joked about with his Bane references in the summer. But yeah, I think him not being on the list, it's disappointing. I'd love to obviously see him up there with Haaland, up there with Isak, but the fact that we don't have anyone on that list is a bigger worry for me.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Lots of people in the chat defending Victor Gyökeres, and they see the value that he brings to the team and our play. One or two obviously not convinced, and that's perfectly fine. That is your opinion. But if we can turn this, I think we will take control of the league, and we're going to be very, very difficult to catch. Let's now look ahead to the game that lies ahead of us. So the Premier League is back, and it is Marco Silva's men who host us at the Cottage tomorrow. Our last three results at Craven Cottage haven't been great, as you can see there, gents, courtesy of _Arsenal. We won there back in 23. That's a few months after that, we lost 2-1. And then in 2024, we got a draw. It's a weird old ground to go, isn't it, Wayne? I mean, it's not the sort of fixture that has been easy for us. It's not the sort of fixture that you would look on paper and think, oh, yeah, easy win, 3 points away banker type thing. It is a London derby. Fulham always raise their game. I'm expecting this to be quite tough, Wayne.
Yeah, same. And I think that Fulham have, and we spoke about it before, have a lot of the physical traits and have a lot of the kind of players that can trouble us, like the Newcastles do, Everton. They've got those physical, powerful players that can kind of run at you. They can defend deep if they need to. They can hit you on the counter. And that's what they've tried to do in the last few years in particular. And I think Marco Silva, I believe, when he was manager, I think at Everton, had some decent results potentially against Arteta as well, or against Arsenal in general. And it's a strange one because sometimes you just have those type of managers, you have those type of teams that can get the better of you from time to time. But I think that this year we're best equipped to stand up to that challenge, and I think we're catching Fulham hopefully at a good time because they've got quite a few injuries to some key players, particularly at left back. Robinson has had the number in that image. You can see it there. Robinson has been brilliant against Saka the last couple of times that they've played. And Robinson is a really, really good defender. If he does miss the game tomorrow, which apparently he is so far, that will be a real boost for us. But yeah, I think we just need to play our game. Do what we've done against Newcastle, do what we've done against West Ham. And I think that we should be, as title number 14 says, should be winning the game comfortably because we've got that level of quality now. And if it's not going our way after 45 minutes, after 60 minutes, we've got the level of quality to bring off the bench and to change things. So, yeah, I think that now is, like you said, that run that we need to go on to kind of just put a little bit of pressure on Liverpool, even though it's early stage, just give them something to think about.
Indeed, Jonathan Kay says Fulham obviously equals Arsenal light. Former Arsenal boys have played for Fulham, three of them still at the club, of course. Bernd Leno, Emil Smith-Rowe and Alex Iwobi. Their start to the season, Yembele, shaky to say the least, 14th place in the Premier League, as you can see from that snippet. Played 7, won 2, drawn 2, lost 3. They've lost their last 2 Premier League games. One, I believe, was away to Bournemouth. They lost 3-1, and the other was away at Villa Park. They lost 3-1 also. Prior to that, they beat Cambridge in the Carabobbins, and they've been pretty good at home, beating Leeds and Brentford in their last 2. But there they are. They're lying in the table between Villa and Leeds. There are some former Arsenal boys. Before we talk about Arsenal sort of lineup and Mikel Arteta sort of press conference, Yem, what sort of a game are you expecting tomorrow, and how are you feeling? What's the mood like going into it? You're a nervous wreck at the best of times, but you must be on the edge tonight.
I'm just wary about, the previous 2 games that we've had at Fulham where we've been sucker punched effectively. Obviously we've tried to start as we usually do to suffocate them. They've broken very quickly and, got a goal out of nowhere. Last year they got the Raul Jimenez goal, which completely threw us off straight away. And obviously, we tried to come back, and then they defended very resolutely, and we only got it through sheer pressure eventually. they are a very capable team. They're very capable of causing an upset, and they've done well at home. The losses have mainly come away. I think they beat the first loss was at Man United at home or something like that. But they're a decent team at Craven Cottage. It's a small ground. It's an annoying ground for us because it's very compact, and we tend to play in a very expansive way. They're very good. Marcus Silva set them up really well. You can't deny it. They're very awkward to beat. They've got some powerful players, as you said. Alex Iwobi seems to be doing very well for them. Josh King as well. We got to shout out. What a player he looks. Very, very capable. But they have got injuries, as Wayne has said. Obviously tomorrow as well. Their strikers look. I think Muniz is out, and there's a doubt over Raul Jimenez. So there's some issues up front for them as well. So, look, I'm expecting a very tough game. But again, this season, in comparison to last season, you have to say that our depth could carry us through in most games. Because if we're having a tough time, this year you can change it up quite drastically and change the game for the team. It's not going to be the same as last year where you had to bring on a Raheem Sterling, which didn't offer anything. This year you've got difference makers who can come on. If Trossard's not doing well, bring on Martinelli. You've got all these players who can change things. So I think it's a different setup in terms of the overall game. I still expect a very tough game when we get there, especially at the start.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've nailed it. Can I just ask you a question, chaps? Of our last 14 Premier League games against Fulham, home and away, how many do you think they've won? Just guess.
How many have they won?
Yeah, how many times have Fulham beaten us in our last 14 Premier League games?
6.
What are you saying, Yim?
6.
It's weird, isn't it? They've only beaten us once in 14 games, and that was in that December 23 game where we lost 2-1.
Really?
Yeah. And
it just feels like they do it.
Everyone in the chat's like 4, 5, 3, 4, 3, 4. No, chat. They've beaten us once. 5, says Charlton.
Do you know what it is? Do you know the one that? Do you know what really sticks in my mind?
Go on.
That game at the Emirates.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one that I know that we're talking about. I know we're going to Craven Cottage and stuff, but that game at the Emirates is the one. That obviously we drew that one, but
that's what I mean. It feels like a lot of draws.
Yeah,
it feels like a lot of draws, but they've only beaten us once in the last 14 games, and that was in December 23 in that fixture that I had. I mean, look, Donald's hit it 5 or 6 times. That's what it feels. It is a trick question. It does feel like it, right? How many draw? I couldn't tell. In fact,
they usually score first, don't they? That's the problem. They score first. We get frustrated, and we absolutely have to go all out to win, don't we?
It's always their first shot.
Yeah,
always their first shot. They always score with their first attack.
You know how we have this psychological weird thing against United.
Yeah,
it feels like we've just got this thing now against Fulham. One defeat, but all 3 of us going into the fixture tomorrow, we were like, oh, a bit shaky, a bit nervous. Mate, they've not beaten us in 13 out of 14 games.
D10 says it best, though. Those are the draws that feel like losses. Against Fulham, we always end up drawing, and it's at a key time of the season. Or it's at a point where we're proper excited, and it feels like a loss. Yeah, it's that.
Which is tomorrow as well, because we feel like we're excited because we're top of the league and we want to cement it. But again, this is a banana. It feels like a banana skin that you're like, oh.
Well, this is going to blow your mind, right? So out of those 14, how many do you think Arsenal have won? Guess. And the clue is we've obviously lost only 1. So
yeah,
it's got to be 13.
It still feels like I still feel like there's a lot of draws. So I'll go with 7.
7 draws. Yembele, higher or lower?
7 as well. I think 7 is.
Well, Manny
7 wins for us.
7 wins.
Yeah, in that 14, 7 wins, 1 loss, and what's that? 6 draws.
What are you saying, Yembele?
Same.
7. Okay. Manny thinks 10 wins. DJ V-Vlad says 9. DJ D10 9. Ben thinks 4. KSS MIW thinks we've won all 13.
Can you imagine?
Obviously we haven't, because I just gave away the flipping head V. Last what do you call it? What is it? Head V. What is it called?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Head to head. Head V head. Well, my head's gone. Heads on Mars. Well, actually, the stats are that in our last 14 Premier League games, Arsenal have won 9, drawn 4, lost 1.
Still too much, isn't it? In
I mean,
terms
when
of
you think
draws?
about that, we've won 9 out of the last 14. I think to myself, we should be going there and slapping this lot.
Yeah. When you put it like that, absolutely.
See.
I think recent
Right.
history just gives us that PTSD, doesn't it? Because it was those
It does.
losses.
It's mad. Honestly, it really is mad. Before we talk about lineup and predictions and how we think the match is going to go, let's just talk about press conference. I don't know if you guys have watched it today, but Mikel Arteta has been speaking to the media ahead of tomorrow's 5:30 kickoff. He was asked about Martin Odegaard. He said that there was no sort of definite date about the skipper's return, but that he's going to be out for a few weeks, obviously now with that knee strain. Mikel Arteta also said that he was going to be managing Ben White and Martin Zubimendi in terms of their load at the beginning of the week, but they are both available for tomorrow's game. So even though Ben White wasn't in training, he is available for the London derby tomorrow. Piero Hincapie has returned to training and is expected to be part of the matchday squad. So those of you who tune in for that pre-match walkout just by the stadium or from the hotel in the morning before they set off to the stadium, you will see Piero Hincapie as part of the squad. He's quite happy, Mikel Arteta, about our performances so far this season. Says that we've got a good platform to build on and that we've got a good chance of achieving our goal. Of course, he wouldn't admit what our goal was, but knowing Mikel, is probably winning the flipping lot. Fulham, he says, is a tough place to go. Really tough place to go. They're a really well coached team through Marco Silva, and we will have to be at our best. He said Martin Odegaard has been pushing and supporting the group off the pitch. There are various leaders in the dressing room who have leadership and accountability, and they will shine on the pitch. And to the point that we talked about Victor Gyökeres earlier, saying, look, he's not scored in 6 games, but Arteta says he brings so much to the team. Watch the games back. Very pleased with what he's giving to the team. Want much more of the same. And when we have the opportunities to put it in the net, I am sure it is going to happen. So Mikel Arteta is very, very pleased. Those were the snippets that I recall from the press conference. Nothing outrageous, but good to see Hincapie, White, and Madueke now back in training. I mean, that's a massive plus, Wayne. Noddy's been superb this season.
It's a massive plus to get any of these players back, and the fact that Hand of Ozil was Hand of Arsenal, was Hand of, I don't know what he is anymore. He's Hand of Elite. We'll put him as a Hand of Latte fan. He was tweeting out about Havertz as well being back on the pitch soon enough, and the fact that he'll be back around the squad soon. So, yeah, it's brilliant to get all of these guys back, and the fact that unfortunately Odegaard seems like he's going to be out for a little while. As long as it's not sort of serious and months and months and months, I think we've got enough to cover him for the sort of 4 to 6 weeks, allow him to hopefully miss the next international break again, get some rest in and come back ready to take part in a busy festive fixture list. And I think that the way that Arteta, and I've said it before earlier today, the way that Arteta is managing the squad right now is really, really good. He's not taking risks with anyone. He's not pushing the likes of Saka too far. He's taking him off even if we're losing games and you're a bit mad about it as an Arsenal fan, but it makes sense and it's best for Saka. He is putting the squad first at the moment, and hopefully that doesn't change throughout the season, because as we've said for a few years now, you want all of these players fit and firing at the business end, but more importantly, you want the fringe players engaged and you want them ready to come in at the business end of the season if they have to. So yeah, long may that continue.
Indeed. Talking of squad, Dembele, as we've been talking, I brought up the starting lineup from our last game out against West Ham in the Premier League, and that is the substitutes bench on the right-hand side. This courtesy of PremierLeague.com. Let's go through the lineup, chaps. I mean, I think we're all expecting David Raya to keep his place in goal. All agree with that. Right back will probably be Jurrien Timber, even though Ben White is in the matchday squad and ready for participation, maybe an appearance off the bench. What do we think? Timber to start?
Yeah, I think so. But I think Ben White is likely to come on at some point, given that we do want to manage the load of both of them pretty much.
Literally what I just said, but thank you for agreeing. Why say 2 words when you can say 100? Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, I suspect, will be our defensive pairing. Can't see anything.
I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Could be Mosquera, yeah.
I think Mosquera might start.
At the Cottage?
Yeah.
They haven't got any strikers, have they?
No, it's not only that. I think Gabriel has done a lot of travel with Brazil, isn't he?
If they haven't got any strikers, just go Timber, Saliba and Calafiori, mate. Just chuck another one in the mixer, mate.
I hope it's Gabriel and Saliba, but I think Mosquera might get the nod.
over Gabriel.
It's just quite a few people shouting Mosquera. Fair enough. I appreciate that. Scott, welcome to the show. Says hi, FK and guests. I'm watching from Dallas in Texas. I think tomorrow is going to be the kind of match that lets Odegaard rest easy. Our midfield is solid. Lots of people are talking about Mosquera. They think he has the minerals. So hopefully, Ricky Calafiori, international duty for Italy. Might he start? I mean, the game on Tuesday, Champions League, is. I mean, they're just as important, aren't they? There's that you can't pick one over the other, but you suspect Calafiori will play one of the two, if not both. Which one would you start him for, Yem? And everyone's saying Gabriel was rested in the second game for Brazil, he might have travelled, but he's not played.
Again, I mean, it's a welcome thing that we can think about. MLS playing instead of Calafiori. It's not a detriment, is it? Really, if he comes in against Fulham, who's their right winger? Who's Fulham's right winger at the moment? Is there? It won't be plays there.
No, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. It's too much to expect you to know anything about football is too much. But we hope.
Ooh, shots fired! What have we created, Wayne? What's going on here? Big man starts a podcast and starts firing shots.
This is why TNT pay him the big bucks.
Honestly, I'll tell you who Fulham's right winger is. Yeah. Just give me a minute, yeah.
Just type it in, yeah. Just type that in. At GPT, who is Fulham's right winger?
God damn it! I don't want to win a shirt. PremierLeague.com. Just tell me the goddamn right winger. Fulham, right? Here we go. Wait. I'm lost. I don't even know. What is this? Xavi Simon's winner signed shirt. I couldn't give a shit. I just want to show up Yembele. And it's gone to.
You really ain't doing that right now.
For goodness sake. God, we used to be such.
All it's showing is you can't navigate a website, mate.
I can't even. What's happened to this nation? Here we go. Right, Fulham. Do you know what, chat? We're not going to move on.
Castagna is the right wing back. Castagna is the right wing back.
That's not even what you asked, mate.
Yeah, but they don't have a right winger there, do they? They play a 5.
Oh, well, there you go. 3-4-3, yeah? Diop, Anderson, Bassi, Castagna, Lukic, Sander Berg, Sessignon. So that would be your right wing back, left wing back, with Harry Wilson, Alex Iwobi, and Joshua King. There you go. How'd you like them apples?
It took you only 5 minutes to do that, mate. Well done.
5 minutes of elite production.
Big thumbs up.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't even remember what I was asking you. So left back, who are you playing? Just tell me a name.
I think MLS might start this one, actually.
Okay. Good for you. Right, in midfield.
Pettiness. Pettiness is unbecoming of you.
What we did in midfield? Zubimendi?
Right,
does he come in?
No.
Rice?
Zubimendi made it, but I'm going to throw it out there because he did it last time. Mikel Merino.
Marino starting.
God.
Marino starting. Just
why do you even? You knew.
Embrace it.
Just remember what happened last time. He scored 4, and Mikel said he was absolutely amazing, and he would have to keep that run going. He scored 2. He's getting in. He's playing tomorrow. Just accept it.
Chat, do you want Mikel Merino to start?
It's not about wanting. He will.
Vlad says he's going to go for Merino, Zubi, and Rice.
He is.
Jonathan says the fridge, Merino. Oh my God,
goals.
Merino's going to start. No, it's got to be Rice, Zubi, Eza.
No, it won't be.
It won't be.
I don't think it's got to be that. Eze will probably start at the 10. But I think Ranieri has played really well in that position in midfield when he's played for consistent minutes coming on off the bench for Odegaard. I think he's played really well, especially in the Premier League. I think that this could be a real good game for him to play if Fulham do play in this back 3 and you play Ranieri as that 10 right centre mid and you have Eze on the left simply because. What's the alternative?
I think Merino starts Champions League. I think you'll play Atletico Madrid. I think you'll get a rest tomorrow, and I think you will start Rice, Zubi, and Eze in midfield tomorrow.
Left wing is going to be Trossard. We all know it already.
Yeah, but I would prefer Eze left wing with Ranieri in the middle. As opposed to Eze in the middle and
there's no way you're playing Eze and Ranieri and Saka.
No.
If Eze plays left wide, he's absolutely bet your house on it. Although I do not agree with betting. Marino will play in midfield.
Yeah,
tomorrow, no doubt.
That could be the midfield then. Marino, Rice, and Zubi.
It's gonna be. Oh, you may as well chuck in Norgard as well. Why not? Why not, Mikel? Just chuck in Norgard, yeah, and just ruin our weekend.
But the thing is, we don't know how he's going to set up, and neither does the opposition. Yet last year was predictable, wasn't it? This year, who knows what we're going to get?
RM Burner says Trossard has quietly done well this season.
Oh,
He
yes.
has.
Only when
DZ
it comes
says, I'm
on.
getting confused, guys. Why are you getting confused, man? The options, the depth, are we not making any sense? We're probably not making any sense. I'm sorry, no, I'm not putting a downer on it. Come on, man. You know, I'm going to rein you guys back in with the predictions. So we're all going Trossard left wing if Eza starts midfield, or if Eza starts left wing, I think we're all agreed that Marino starts midfield. Up top, Victor Gyökeres has to be, although Kai Havertz is closing in on a return. Can't wait to see the King come back and lead the line in certain games. I think both of them together as well. Cracking option. And of course, the star man, not a star boy anymore, Bukayo Saka on that right-hand side. I mean, that's pretty much it. Chaps, where do you think the game is going to be won and lost? Give me your predictions as I put that question to the chat. Chat, let me know. What do you think the game will be tomorrow? Any match predictions, score predictions, goal scorers? Let me know in the chat. Yem, let's start with you. How do you think the game is going to be played, won and lost? And then leave us with your prediction.
I think we're going to try and control the game as per normal. I think we've done that this whole season. We tried to suffocate teams very much so. I think Victor will get something tomorrow. I think he's due a goal, and I think there's enough there I've seen enough from him. I think he's going to be in a physical game tomorrow because, again, they're playing a 3-4-3. So it'll be, Calvin Bassey's a very physical defender. Anderson's a very physical, they're all physical defenders. But I think he's got enough about him. I think it's going to be a cagey game initially. I think they're going to play for that break, as we all know. We just got to be on it in terms of defense. We know they're going to spring a trap at some point, but I think we can wear them down. I think it's not going to be straight away, but yeah, I'm confident. I think we will get there eventually. And Nick, I think we can get a good win there.
Okay, I'll come to you for your prediction in a second. It reminds me of that game. I think Leo Trossard was new into his Arsenal career. We started so well. Was it like 2 or 3 goals in the first 10, 15 minutes? And we ended up drawing 2-2 or 3-3. It was crazy game. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Wayne, where do you think the game is going to be won and lost tomorrow? How do you think we're going to play?
I think it will be on the strength of our defense, regardless of who plays, regardless of who starts, whether it's MLS, Calafiori, Mosquera, Gabriel Saliba. I think the strength of our defense this year are unlikely to make some of the silly mistakes and be as open as we have been sometimes at Craven Cottage, which has allowed them to get their early goal, which has then allowed them to kind of sit back and make things tough for us. So I think we get the win, and it will be on the strength of that defense. The fact that it will be tough for Fulham to hopefully get openings, and then just don't let them score first. If you avoid that, we'll be in for a decent game.
Elite movie knowledge from DJ D10, by the way. Jeff Bridges in Starman. AFC 777 says, need Eza to be at his creative best to beat their low block. Lots of shouts for Ethan Wanyeri coming off the bench. Why doesn't he start, etc., etc. We shall see. Title number 14 says, we need to keep a clean sheet. I like clean sheets. Who doesn't like clean sheets, eh? I'll come to score predictions in a second. I think it's going to be... This is weird, isn't it? Like, we're all sort of thinking, oh, tight game, edgy, Craven Cottage, who knows, under the lights, Saturday night, blah, 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 blah. We should be slapping them. 14 games, 9 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss. Why are we nervous? Our squad is stacked. Mikel has got the bit between his teeth. The gunman, the hitman, the brute force up top is ready and waiting to score. The midfield is buzzing. Rice, Zubimendi, Marino. Hell, just give it Marino. He'll score 2. I think we just need to play our game and take it to them, start fast, fly out of the blocks, just get the game done and dusted in that first 15, 20 minutes, because defensively, we've come a long way from 2 years ago where we go 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 up and then sort of just let stupid goals in. Defensively, they are not going to lay a finger. They're not going to get a sniff, mate. Honestly, we are unbelievable defensively. So the key for us this season is to just get ahead. Because if we get ahead, ain't nobody getting in. Clean sheet. I love that. So score predictions then, as I come to the chat. Let me have your score predictions. Vlad says 2-0 to the Arsenal. I'm assuming these are all Arsenal. So when needed says 2-0. Manny says 2-0. That's a very popular score. Lucio says 2-1 to the Arsenal. Donald saying 4-0. Arsenal Granny says 2-0. Thanks, Arsenal Granny, for tuning in and watching the whole show. Love that. Love you. Nell X Sun 2000. I'm sure that's a name that we recognize, but I don't know. YouTube, some sort of glitch. They've got people's handles. What was it called? Monikers. Fulham 0, Arsenal 2. Asheen says 3-0 to the Arsenal. Louis says 3-0 to the Arsenal as well. Yem, what are you going for?
I'm going to go with a 3-1 to Arsenal. I think we will.
You can see they haven't got any strikers. And I've just talked to you about how unbelievable we are defensively, yet they're still going to score, are they?
Because they always score against us. It's really annoying, but they do. And I think Josh King is that kind of unpredictable player who I think is in that form where I think he might score. But I think we'll still be too strong in terms of our attacking. We'll get the goals, get the win, 3 points, keep us top of the Premier League. Job done.
Wayne?
I'm going to go with 1-0 to the Arsenal, but it's going to be. I think. Do you remember when we went to Stamford Bridge and we battered them 1-0? with Jesus, like we absolutely destroyed them, and it should have been more than 1-0. And I think we scored like a header from a corner or something like that. I reckon we're just methodical, we're boring, we just don't put away chances. I think it's 1-0, but I don't think it's going to be a stressful 1-0.
You know what? I think we're going to win, and we're going to win comfy tomorrow. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go brace for Victor Gyökeres. That's right. I haven't done that in a long time. And who else is going to score?
You've got to say Starboy, surely.
I mean, he always does, doesn't he? It'll be Marino, obviously, just to lay one.
And Trossard, just to annoy you.
Yeah, Trossard 3 assists, Marino and Victor Gyökeres. Listen, I won't complain. I won't complain with that. Paul says he's very, very excited for tomorrow. Aren't we all? Thank you so much for all of the predictions in the chat. And the chat's been fantastic. Hundreds of you watching live on YouTube. If you've enjoyed tonight's show and you're watching for the first time, ignore the monikers and whatever the YouTube glitches, but subscribe and hit like on the video. It's a massive help to the channel. I'm really sorry that I've not been back with the content this week. I've had a crazy week at work. I actually go away on Wednesday for a few days, so there's going to be a bit of a gap there. But fear not, we will have match reaction tomorrow, straight after the game, maybe sort of half an hour after the whistle. Once everything is settled, we'll have a match reaction where I'll get your guys' thoughts on the game. Sunday, we'll be back with a late night latte on Sunday night. Monday night, we'll do a preview of Atletico Madrid. Tuesday night, we'll do a match reaction after the Atletico Madrid game. Then there'll be a few days off. Also, Thotti, Patreon member, is going to go to Crystal Palace. He's been supporting the channel for a long time. I've managed to get him a pair of tickets to the Palace game. He will be taking his son flying in for that game. So well done to you, my man. You will enjoy that game at the weekend. And then we'll be back once I'm back in the UK doing some more content. What was that? Some sort of...
Sorry, no, I just hit my mic accidentally.
You say you're going on holiday for a few days. He's punching walls.
Honestly, he's laying it down. He's like, this is where I take over, FK. Yeah, he's just laying it down. Yeah, listen, thank you so much for, honestly, you guys tuning in. It has really cheered me up. I have had a very testing week at work. I hope you guys are all well. Doing this sort of show is a fantastic release. I'm grateful for all of you joining in, being active in the chat, supporting the channel in whatever way you can. It is always greatly appreciated. If anybody wants to follow Yembella, he is available at Verge59. He is, of course, host and owner of Red Lines and Half Spaces. Great podcast. AFC James is on there this week. They've also done their preview for the weekend with Joe. If anybody wants to follow Wayne, he is available at Wayne's World 20_ co-host and owner of the Can You Believe It podcast with our good friend AFC Metro. AFC Met, really. Pass on best wishes to both of your podcasting partners. Say that 10 times. What was the one that Dave said?
Box of baklavas.
Do it in Dave's voice. Do it in Dave's voice as well.
I've not met Dave.
Box of baklavas. Love you, Dave. I also love the fact that his name's Dave. It's just so perfect. Look after yourselves. It's going to be glorious tomorrow. I can't wait. And Sunday, Liverpool, Man United. We can't not just get your thoughts on that very, very quickly. Can Ruben Amorim do something for us at Anfield?
No, it's at Anfield. They're going to turn them
Look how defensive and dismissive he is.
My thought process
United
on
get
that
the point.
very much.
That's what I want to say.
My thought process on that very much depends on our game against Fulham. If ours hasn't gone well, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, if we don't win,
the weekend's over, isn't it?
Yeah,
here he is, the big man sliding in at the back post. It's Dave. I love
Did he have all those baklavas yet? Has he eaten all of them?
No, he's going to see it through for the weekend. Right, we'll leave it there. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. Be good. Enjoy the game. We'll be back tomorrow with a match reaction video. So sleep well. Until tomorrow. Bye for now.